What's up, everybody? All right, listen. I've realized something about me. I can touch the best version of myself. I can reach them. Like, there's this version of me that's very clear, calm, disciplined, funny, sharp, in the gym, hydrated, reading daily, making the podcast and work towards it, not spiraling, not hiding, and actually proud of the way I'm living and the man I've become. I can touch that version. The best version. I've seen it. But staying there? Man, staying there at the peak is hard as hell. Because life doesn't stop. Responsibilities don't stop, employed or not. And lately, I've been falling off. Not like a crisis, just off. Way off, actually. Like my body is here, but my spirit, well, it's buffering. I got back from vacation and 2026 hit fast forward, and I'm trying to catch up while also pretending I'm not completely overwhelmed. And I think I figured out why. But I'm not going to act like, hey guys, guess what? I fixed it. Come check this bullshit out. This is more of like, hey guys, I'm sort of catching this in real time and figuring this out right now as we speak type of episode. So what is good to note is that we as humans can course correct in real time. And as long as we're willing to introspect, tell the truth, and implement the work, everything should be okay. Let's dive deep. What's up, everybody? Dean here. Welcome back to As Deep as It Gets. So I wish I could just sit up here and pretend that, everything's fine, but that's just not what we do here, is it? That would be surface level stuff, and we're trying to get deep here. And this is where we talk about what's happening while we're in it, and as a means to, get through it. And today it's sort of back to basics. Just me sitting here, being honest, because I can feel myself drifting. And I'll be real, it's hard to make a podcast when you feel like nothing in your life is happening. But that would be a lie. Stuff has been happening. I told you last episode, stay boring is the last thing it does around here. And truthfully, I just haven't been executing. And I've been being lazy about facing it. And today matters because it's episode 21. And when I think 21, I sort of think, well, 21 was the best year of my life. Which has me asking now at 33, what exactly am I building here? What am I leaving behind? What do I hope my friends' kids see one day? And if I ever have kids of my own, what do I hope they see in their dad? We're not chasing perfection. We realized many years ago that that doesn't exist. We're chasing proof of work. proof that when life got heavy, I didn't disappear. I course corrected. And I'm going to do this episode right in the middle of all the stress. Right in the middle of my current struggle, because that's exactly where I'm at. This is not the trophy scene. This is the montage. So I got back from Florida on January 3rd. And ever since then, life has felt like it's on 1.5 times speed. I honestly don't even know how we're almost a month into 2026, but and don't forget February is a short month. But this is not how I pictured starting the year whatsoever. I pictured having a lot of momentum. I pictured like structure. I pictured hitting the ground running, coming back from vacation. And instead it's been stress, catching up, change. I know you guys, if you listen to this podcast, you might have listened to the last one. I'm dealing with that as soon as I got back, and it's just like a bunch of small things stacking up at once. And to make everything even better, it's just freezing cold out right now, which I understand. Ohio winters, it's honestly, it's whatever. I'm used to it, but at the same time, like, it doesn't make things any easier. That's not. I don't even know that I'd be bitching about it if I was still in Florida. I might just be happy that it's sunny and 70. No kidding. I mean, I might not be upset at all. Um, but winter does that. The seasonal depression type, things. Gray skies, early darkness. Why do I feel weird? The lack of vitamin D. It just everything's fine, but nothing feels super easy. At least not for me. Not like it did in the summertime. In the summertime, everything felt really good. I was doing well. Um, I don't know, but either way, on top of all that, my my home dynamic sort of changed overnight, and it seems like it's gonna end up as something for the better. But now there's some more responsibility going on than just myself, and more moving parts, and more emotional weight, and more now me having to sort of lead by example and be the stable one type of pressure. And yes, me be the stable one. So you're hearing that correctly. And I guess that's just called, growing up. And I'm not complaining. I'm not. I'm just, I guess, mentioning to you guys that I'm carrying a little bit more weight lately than normal. And I think what I've been doing is carrying it all mentally. And when I do that, I start getting short, confrontational. You can ask my buddy Mason. He's been telling me I've been a real asshole lately, and I haven't even been meaning to, and I have to constantly go back and apologize and say I'm sorry. I'm not, and that's not even like me. Um, but we make it right. And I think I figured out, even just by doing this, a lot of what's going on. And when I try to carry it all mentally, like I said, I get a little bit confrontational and irritated and on edge, and sort of like my nervous system's just looking for a fight. And if you know me well, you know I like a good clean fight. Um, it always makes for a good story and can build some character. The type when it's over and you shake hands after. But here's the thing: when I'm feeling healthy and the best me, I feel no need to conquer the world. Like, I wouldn't harm a fly. If you can ask Scotty, you can ask. I've become super. I quit fighting a long time ago. I tried to. fighting is something that actually crept up back on me this this past June, when I was headed down a dark road, leading up to me starting, 75 hard and stopping drinking. I was falling into fighting a little bit, and it wasn't a good thing. It wasn't a good thing. I don't know where that comes from in me, but that's when I really knew that I had to just stop the drinking completely. And we've been doing really well with that. I have no desire anymore, really. Thankfully, I feel blessed about that. I never really. I told someone the other day, or it came up in conversation. I never really thought I was gonna be able to do that. So yeah, like when I'm feeling the healthiest me, I can handle the pressure without needing any type of conflict as an outlet. But why do I feel so off? You know, I, it's because I've been letting myself down since the beginning of the year, truthfully. And, you know, to switch gears a little bit, episode 21 has me heavily thinking about being age 21. Like me at 21 was doing all the stuff that made for this crazy one of a kind story. The year I turned 21 was the absolute best year of my life. It was a year I would go on to pay for later at 22. But I still wouldn't change a single damn thing. And since this is episode 21, I guess I'll run it down for you real quick. 21 for me kicked off with a huge party and a live band at my parents' bar. And there was a $5 cover that I'm pretty sure even my grandmother paid. And we profited well from charging that $5 cover. And I wasn't in a good way that night. I think I was. It was one of the best nights of my life when I look back on it. But I got to see all my best friends, guys, gals, my mom, my dad, my grandma, and every single important person to me from my childhood all in the same place to sort of celebrate me. And that's a feeling that I don't know that I'll ever get again. And I remember that day, and it was very special to me. And I've had a lot of kick-ass birthdays over the year. I'm very blessed in that aspect, but that one was different. And it blended right into this wild trip to Louisville to watch them in this national championship game with my buddies Kolb, BA, and my cousin Chad, and it was just like an epic time. And I'm pretty sure it was just us four. I might be forgetting someone. And if I am, I'm sorry. But that spring was awesome, turning 21, and Jambo 2013 was nuts. Absolutely insane. We got jumped and all kinds of crazy stuff happened, and I ran through this briar patch and got absolutely all fucked up and nearly died in there. And the funniest part was the story of that was it was a free concert. And I almost died for like a free concert. And the briar patch was really fucked. And then after that, the Pirates postseason run, jumping off the bridge, that whole deal. The city feeling alive that night. Everything felt alive then. I felt very alive, you know? That wild card win and yeah, and that's that's when I jumped off the Roberto Clemente bridge following the Pirates wildcard win. And, Roberto Clemente was number 21, by the way, just like this episode. So the bridge jump didn't go on to help my studies after that at Belmont College that year. And I found out one of my professors, Mr. McLeod, is listening. I don't know if I had him that year, but shout out to him. I appreciate him being a big supporter of the content. I hope he hears this. But yeah, that bridge jump didn't go on to help my studies that year in college. But damn, did I really still love learning and writing. And honestly, I think that's why I like doing this so much now, is because every episode feels like its own little project. And it feels like I'm building something with my brain again, and I'm intellectually challenged, and it feels like I'm sort of taking the chaos of my life and turning it into some sort of order and something that, means something. At 21, I was chasing moments, adrenaline, stories, being alive. I wouldn't say I was chasing fame, but Colby was sort of blowing up on Vine, making quite a few Vines of me back when that was a thing, and I wish we still had all those. Those would be hilarious to look at now. And I'm not even judging that kid who was 21 then. I loved that kid. That kid was wild. I'm not that kid anymore. And I'm glad I'm not that kid anymore, but the word of the day, this week it's legacy. And legacy is a little bit different. My best friend, Scott, he is a legacy specialist. And if you have any questions about your legacy, please contact One Oak Financial. They hooked me up, and I know they can hook you up too. But legacy is what stays when the party ends. Legacy is what you stand for when, nobody's clapping. I want my legacy to be what I learned from all those crazy stories I had growing up. It's okay to live, but it's important to be remembered for being good, for being someone solid, for being someone people can count on. And that's what I strive for in my life now. And now I'm very much feeling the pressure of needing to be steady and present and to be the kind of person who doesn't fold when things get hard in life. And I sort of guess that's what this podcast is about right now, because I was sort of unsure what I'd talk about, and I sort of think I'm just here to tell you guys that, I'm doing this thing. I'm doing my best. Like, it's I feel like I could be doing better, and I'm like letting myself down in ways. And it's like that might be my hyper self-awareness. I don't really know. It's like, and then I take this to people, and then, some of my friends are like, well, you're not giving yourself enough credit. And I'm like, when will I ever be happy? And it's like, and I don't know. I don't know if I mean, listen, I'm just going to say it. It's been so cold and hard to do anything. I've started playing video games again. And listen, I love it. I do. You guys, anyone who knows me, I've played NCAA, I've played Madden, I grew up playing video games. My brother had me playing video games when I was a kid. I was playing against the older guys. I got good at them. They're been a big part of my life, to be honest. My dad used to fix arcade games, John, in my basement, and yeah, they've been like a constant in my life. Like I not only do I like them, I'm pretty good at them. So it's a double-edged sword, though. And because there's rest, and then there's escape. Rest is, I did what I needed to do today, and I earned peace. And escape is, I don't really want to feel how I'm feeling, So I'm just going to go, my mind's just going to go disappear somewhere else, and I'm going to put things that I'm ignoring on the back burner. And lately I've been hopping off the game and immediately thinking, and this is no fault of my own, to no fault of anyone's, to not Mason's, not mine, not the game. It's me. It's self-discipline. It's me, so, but I've been hopping off the game and I've been immediately thinking, think of all the other stuff I could or should be doing. And whether that be working out more, creating more, making the podcast better, leads for the podcast, ads, reading to learn new things, or just better honing my craft in general. And I think some of that may lift with the seasonal, but I think I need to really work on scheduling a time for that and sticking to it. And, guys, I'm just, I'm here telling you, I feel guilty for, I guess, enjoying myself a little bit, because that guilt turns into avoidance. Avoidance starts to feel like escape, and then I'm like, well, why do I feel off? And the truth is, like I said, I haven't really been executing. Simple as that. Not because I don't know what to do, but I mean, for me to say I'm tired would just be an excuse. I'm just like, I keep pushing things. You'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow turns into next week. Next week turns into a month. But I am dealing with some new things. And it is the start of the year. And I was hoping to get off on a great start and just keep rolling and just keep everything wow, bang, 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 bang. And sometimes life just doesn't go your way. And I'm tired of it not going my way again. And so I think I need to get back to the me where everything was going my way. So that's all. It's really not, it's just whenever you keep procrastinating like that, eventually you just sort of ask yourself, how did I drift this far from that awesome version of me I worked so hard on and really loved? And then, you end up here and it's like, well, I'm better than I was, but I'm not as good as is that a Toby Keith song? I'm not as good as I once was. But yeah, I do know that I can get back there. I just need to start doing the things that got me there in the first place. And once I get there, make that the new baseline, and try to evolve from there and get better. And that's how you can do. You're going to have setbacks in life. You're not always, peaks and valleys. You just always want to try and maintain an upward trajectory. And that's the most important thing. And, you want to try and keep things as good as long as you can keep them good. And that's mainly it. And like I said earlier, the word of the day is legacy, and I want to bring God into it because, that's where my head's been lately. In more of a grounding way, because your legacy isn't just what people say about you, it's what you pass down, and the Bible is pretty direct about it. Proverbs 13:22 says, "A good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children." And that's about stability and an example of how family handles life. And then Psalm 145:4 says, "One generation shall commend thy works to another." And that is about, generations passing down, traits and norms to, the next of how to be a good human and how to be a good person. And I think every person wants to leave a good legacy, and I truly think that is sort of the dream of mankind when it comes to the humanities. And what you want to, obviously, like, I think most men, I know I do eventually, or one day, or maybe not, you just never know. But I'd like to father children, and your legacy is what you pass down to them, and not only them, but your friends and family and those that you care about. What you do in your lifetime doesn't just help you, it helps the next person. Legacy is, building it is about something we preach here a lot on the podcast. Reps and consistency. It's what you do on a random Tuesday night when nobody's watching. It's who you are when you're stressed and tired and tempted to try to escape. And I'm saying all of this while actively admitting that I have been slipping. So this is not me preaching or teaching. This is me sort of just confessing to you guys and reminding myself that if I want to build a good legacy, I better enjoy the journey and the reps, because that's what it's all about. And I do have to highlight some positive stuff. There's some good happening too. My friend Chris Murphy and podcast guest, go check out that podcast if you haven't already. He reached out to me this week and told me that he's starting his podcast, and I've sort of inspired him in a way. And that hit me because it made me realize that maybe this is part of the purpose. Not fame, not numbers, but proof. Proof that you can be messy and still build something meaningful. And then Robbie told me as soon as it gets warm, he's coming to see me. And I don't know why, but that mattered to me, man. It feels like my community is slowly, building around me. And I love that. And that's a big deal to me. And, that's something that kept me going this week whenever I was feeling down and feeling alone. Because, when you're feeling supported, it sort of helps you lock in a bit. And the craziest part is, that support makes me want to go deeper and share more stuff with you guys, because when I get that support, it makes me want to keep creating, and the more support I garner, the deeper I'll probably go with my stories, and the more type stuff I'll tell you, I'd imagine, because there are stories in here that I'm honestly a little scared to talk about. Well, I mean, I never put anyone else's reputation at risk. That's for certain. But my own, that's the reason I'm worried. My own, they're a little too real, and I'm testing the waters with you guys. You haven't disowned me yet for any of my stories, so maybe maybe I don't have to be perfect. Maybe I just have to be honest. And like I said, maybe that honesty is the thing that helps someone else. Like I've been getting told. So that's been a really good thing. And so truthfully, I know what's been holding me back, and this is sort of the aha moment of the whole episode, is I feel off because I haven't been in the gym. And I know some people hear that and are like, that's your breakthrough? The gym? Just, oh, that's all you had to do? And yeah, that's sort of it. I think as long as I'm going to the gym, then everything else sort of falls into place. If I'm going to the gym, then I'll eat right. I'll try to take my vitamins, my supplements, feel better, in turn, spend less time. And it sort of all lines up. The gym sort of started with 75 hard there, and it's sort of become my anchor, you know, my my medicine, my little bit of antidepressant every day. It's where I can work off that stress and that confrontation and that angst and anxiety that sort of sits with me every day. Um and for me, I just don't know how much any of this could exist without the gym. I think that's what I'm starting to find. Like I worked out today for the first time, and I think that's what sort of sparked the creative juice. I felt great. And I don't sometimes it's just hard to even once I get there I feel better, but sometimes it just getting there for me is the tough part. And if I move weight, I feel better, I think clearer, and then I show up for the podcast and for you guys, and then I feel purpose and handle stress better. So I think that's sort of the code that I've cracked. But when the gym disappears, it feels like everything else starts slipping. And then I start to like try to find refuge in old habits. And while I might be playing more video games, okay, at least I'm not drinking, which is good. So, like, I mean, small victories, but also like we can refine this, we can make it better. And that's what this whole thing is about. It's not an overnight success, it's a refinement process. And I'm aware of that, but I still want to see results like right now, now. And that's just my personality, but we'll get there. We will. We just have to stay steadfast and, you know, keep consistent because, we're dealing with the stress, how it shows up with change, new responsibilities, pressure, wintertime. And then I think and then all of a sudden I'll skip the gym because I think I'm dealing with stress. The other stress, like, oh, you have to make it, you have to deal with this, which is true in some aspects, but the gym can't go by the wayside because then I start to feel off and then I avoid executing. And then the guilt shows up. Like to think of all the other stuff you should be doing that you're not doing. And then it's just, I cope by escaping with games, doom scrolling, procrastination. Then I feel more guilt. And that's the loop. And that's the crazy part. I'm trying to fix my life with thoughts. I'm sitting here telling you this is like literally my therapy. It's nuts. I'm talking to who knows? Who knows? I don't even know who all I'm talking to. It seems like I appreciate you all, first off. Second off, I just don't know. I mean, I know I have an idea of like the standard core group of people who are listening, but I don't know who's all listening on what platform, but I know how many YouTube videos I get, and I think that's a lot. And I hope it's only growing more, but the fix is in the repetitions. And that is the heart of this episode. We are at the point in the story where I am fucking up, and I have to get it back to good. And it's not just for me this time. I've got some other people around me now. I've got some more responsibility now. I've got, listeners watching. I've got people close to me that need me steady. So, like I said before, this is us running the steps. This is us lifting the weights. We are not at the trophy scene stage. So where does that leave me? In medias res. But I do know this. When I'm off, I can either keep negotiating with my own mind, or I can do something that shifts my whole day. And for me, it's never been that complicating. My whole life is clear when I move, and I show up better when I move the body, and I'm a better friend, a better son, and a better human being. So I'm not going to sit here and promise you I'm going to go 75 hard in a perfect week, and I'm not promising you I'm going to be like a superhero tomorrow. I'm just saying I'm done pretending I don't know what's holding me back. If you see me slipping again, maybe send me a gym meme or something. I need to be in the gym. If I'm in the gym, everything else will follow. Because I can't really shoot basketball right now. I can't really ride my bike. I can't, just because it's cold, I can't just stay inside, and I can't. I got to get in the gym. So like I said, I know what my anchor is. And if you are listening, you probably know what your anchor is too. You just haven't been doing it. And I'm saying that with love, because I'm also talking to myself at the same time. So I'm going to end it like this. And I'm not going to bully any of you or myself into being better. But I'm also not going to letting you or myself keep drifting. We're in the middle of it. This is not the trophy scene. We are in the montage. And I'll tell you something else. The more you guys keep showing up for me, the more stories I'm going to keep telling you. Stories I've been sitting on. Stuff I've been hesitant to say out loud. If you're listening, and maybe you've been feeling off too, here's the only question I want you to ask yourself. What's the thing you run to when you don't want to feel your life like I run to video games? And what's the one thing you already know brings you back to yourself? The guilt you're feeling is in the work you know you should be doing. Internally and externally. Mentally and physically. That's it. I love y'all. We'll see you Wednesday.